He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. Friedrich Nietzsche. Respect doesn't disappear overnight. It shifts quietly. It weakens in small moments that seem harmless at first. Most people think respect is lost because of a big mistake, a wrong word, or a single argument, but that's rarely true. Respect fades when patterns change, and patterns change when behavior changes. People recalibrate your value based on repetition, not on promises, not on potential, on repetition. When someone crosses a boundary and nothing happens, a message is sent. When they dismiss you and you laugh it off, a message is sent. When they ignore your discomfort and you minimize it, a message is sent. You may believe you're keeping the peace. They are learning your limits. Respect is tied to self-regulation, to how steady you remain under pressure. If your mood shifts every time someone withdraws, if your tone changes when you feel insecure, if you over-explain yourself when tension appears, people sense instability. Instability reduces perceived strength. This is not about dominance. It is about internal authority. Internal authority is silent. It doesn't chase, it doesn't plead, it doesn't negotiate values to avoid discomfort. It stays consistent even when emotions fluctuate. Many people lose respect for you the moment they realize you are afraid to lose them. The dynamic shifts when your need becomes visible. Not dramatic need, subtle need. The need for reassurance, the need for validation, the need for quick responses, the need to close silence immediately. When someone senses that you fear abandonment more than you value your standards, caution decreases. The more certain someone feels about your availability, the less careful they become. This isn't cruelty. It's behavioral pattern recognition. Human beings constantly assess stability. They watch how you react to disagreement. They observe what you tolerate. They test small boundaries, not always consciously, but consistently. If there is no adjustment when lines are crossed, normalization begins, and normalization weakens respect. Sometimes what feels like kindness is actually self-minimization. You excuse behavior to appear understanding. You accept inconsistency to appear mature. You lower standards to appear flexible. But repeated compromise reshapes perception. Respect is not about being feared. It is about being stable. If your standards move depending on who you're afraid to lose, people adjust their behavior accordingly. If your tone softens under pressure, they notice. If your convictions disappear when tension rises, they notice. And here is the uncomfortable layer beneath all of it. Sometimes respect wasn't lost, it was never established. If you position yourself as overly accommodating from the beginning, if you consistently absorb discomfort without response, if you prioritize harmony over alignment, then the behavior you experience later is simply continuity. People believe what your behavior teaches them. If your actions communicate that you will tolerate anything to maintain connection, then your connection becomes cheap. Value is perceived through boundaries, not through effort, not through explanation, through visible standards. Internal authority shows up in restraint, in measured responses, in the ability to pause instead of react, in the willingness to walk away instead of shrinking. When someone senses that you will leave before you abandon yourself, dynamics shift. Not loudly, subtly. The posture changes, the tone adjusts, the testing decreases. Respect is rarely demanded successfully. It emerges when your behavior signals consistency over time. If respect has faded, look at the pattern, not at the last incident. Look at the repeated concessions, the silent tolerances, the moments you chose comfort over standard. Because respect does not collapse randomly. It responds to signals, and signals are sent through behavior long before words are spoken. The pattern repeats until you see it.